for the blooper reel.
This is the content for our title screen. Starting the recording in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Squad Chat podcast. I'm Parker, and with me as always is the lovely Trexel.
What up?
And today we're talking about Google Stadia, cloud gaming, Xbox xCloud,
Yeah.
Microsoft xCloud. We're talking about all the, as you said, the future of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So today Microsoft had a big press conference. They unveiled a lot of new games, and they talked a lot more about their streaming service. Which is xCloud. Back in April, March of this current year, Google unveiled their streaming platform, their game streaming platform, Stadia. It made the rounds in the news, disappeared, and now it's back again because it comes out on the 19th of this month.
That's close.
It's close. It's Tuesday. It's getting here. So we thought we'd talk about it. Trex, you're more of and for everybody at home, Trexel is the expert on these topics. I love games. I like Google. All I know is basically what was announced at Stadia's announcement, and then I have forgotten about it. So today we're talking about all this stuff. Trex is going to be giving you all the information.
I'll be your tour guide.
You'll be the tour guide for this fantastic voyage through cloud gaming and game streaming.
I'll take you through the clouds.
Oh, yes, baby. All right, so why don't you start it off for people that don't know what Stadia or xCloud is? What are the basics? What do I need to know?
So the basics, you buy a game, you can play it without downloading. You don't have to download updates. You launch the game, and you're playing. Any screen, anywhere that you have
Even on my
service. On your phone, on your tablet, on your browser, on your computer, on your freaking smart fridge, probably, if it supports it.
But Trex, I don't have a gaming PC. I just have this crappy laptop that my older brother gave me. What about me?
Parker, you could. What if I told you on your crappy laptop, you could play games 4K, 60 FPS, surround sound audio,
That would be fantastic.
without having to buy upgrades for your computer?
This sounds like magic to me, Trex.
Straight up freaking magic, Parker. Let me tell you.
Yes.
So, like Parker said, we are recording on the day that Xbox had their press conference. So, all this new information that they gave us is still pretty fresh. Kind of the basic overview Xbox went over was right now the beta is currently running for xCloud. I'm in the beta.
Fancy.
I haven't used it yet. I'm sorry. I'm bad. But so their plans are next year they're gonna broaden the beta. Right now it's only in 3 countries. They're gonna open it up to more countries next year. They're adding 50 games to their beta lineup. Before they only had like 8 or so.
Which blows my mind, right? Because 50 games when they said that, I thought it was 50 games in the lineup when it comes out, whenever the hell, you know? But you're telling me that this is 50 games that they've added to just the beta of their service?
Correct.
And Stadia launches on Tuesday, on the 19th of November, and it has, 24 games, and they're adding, it has like
That's
14
12.
games they're adding. There's 12 games now, and they're adding 10 more, 12 more later on. How... What?
So here's the thing,
Like,
right?
Yeah, go for it.
Microsoft has been in the gaming ecosphere for years, decades almost, I want to say.
Yes.
They have a catalog. They have the Xbox catalog. They have their first party studios. They have everything like that already established. I guarantee this xCloud thing was in the works years before, and they're probably further along than they're letting on, even though they're in beta. From what I've heard, the beta, it runs really smoothly. It's good. It works somehow. I don't know. It still blows my mind.
I mean, what are we doing recording the podcast when you could just be streaming Gears of War 5 on your phone?
Yeah, I could be playing Tekken 7 on my phone. It's crazy to me. It makes no sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. But so here's the thing, right? Xbox has been part of the gaming ecosphere for so long. Like I said, they already have kind of the gaming backbone in order to push this technology forward. Google, on the other hand, they're just now entering the ecosphere, and they're entering it by introducing their cloud streaming service. And kind of, so the difference between the two, obviously, is the games, how they're launching, what their launch lineups look like. But it's also kind of the capabilities that each of them are going to tout. So, Xbox, from what they've said, you buy a game on Xbox. So this is like when the service is out and live, which I think they said 2020 expect it, or they're launching it
Cool.
alongside Scorpio, which wouldn't surprise me. Scorpio's going to be a powerhouse.
Yeah.
So you buy a game on your Xbox, and then whatever game's compatible with the cloud streaming service, they said there's no extra developer work needed. So potentially every game would be compatible with the stream service. You
Okay.
That game that you bought, you can then stream to your devices without having to download.
Okay.
I'm still curious to see how that works out in the long run. As far as like piracy, seems like they're kind of opening themselves up a little bit with that.
Yeah.
Like if I just gave you my Microsoft account, you could stream it to your computer while I bought the game and like started playing it. Things like
Yeah,
that.
I want because so Disney Plus has just dropped, right? And like they only allow like 4 devices to be activated like at a time or something
Yeah.
like that. I wonder if it'll be something like that where it's like your home you can stream. So okay, so is the streaming service is xCloud tied to an Xbox? Because Stadia is not tied to hardware, right? So is that a key difference? Because if it's tied to an Xbox, I can see it being like you can only use xCloud from your home Xbox or something like that.
So as of right now, like I said, it's only in beta, and I have very limited knowledge myself, even though you said I'm an expert.
Well, you're excited.
I just know things. That information I don't fully know myself, but I do know that during the beta, I can access all these titles that I've never purchased on an Xbox. I've never purchased anywhere at all, and I can just play them on my phone. So I don't know how the full release of it is actually going to look as far as monetization standpoint and the profiles and all that. I don't know how that's exactly going to work. But what we do have is a little bit more information on the Stadia side, because
Yes.
that comes out like next week.
Like 5 days from the time of recording. It's hype. It's exciting.
So I'm going to take you really quickly through a timeline of Stadia, because truthfully, it only got announced last March.
Yeah.
So they announced it and they're releasing it within the same year. It's insane.
It felt like a long time, but now that we're talking about it, it feels like yesterday that announcement happened.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there's still stuff that's like coming out about it. I'm just gonna jump right into it. So March 19th, they announced Stadia. They announced all these features that were going to be compatible with Stadia. So this is kind of what I was saying about the key difference between the two is going to be the features that they both offer, the unique features that they bring to the table. Obviously, it's a Google product, so it's going to have a lot of integration with YouTube. You're going to be able to stream your gameplay directly to YouTube.
It's huge.
So that means like if you wanted to like catalog your gaming adventures or whatever, it could do that automatically, and it could stream it 4K, 60 FPS native from their servers. That's insane.
Yeah.
They also have this thing called State Share, which is like some games will offer you the ability to save a game and your instance, and then you can then upload that save to one of your friends, and they will load that save, and they will be loaded into the same instance and everything that basically you saved at. So they're gonna be like playing your version of the game, but like on their profile or whatever.
We have a lot of friendly rivalries.
Oh,
You guys.
Oh yeah.
When Trex and I throw down in almost every game that you can think of that 2 people can throw down in, we throw down in it. And that specifically the save state sharing
yeah.
makes me so excited.
Yeah, it's insane. Another thing, so like I said, they're gonna have a lot of integration with YouTube. So streamers that stream on YouTube, games that allow like multiplayer progression, they can just open a queue in their YouTube live chat, and then if you have Stadia and you have the game that the streamer's playing, you could click that link, and just like that, you're in the streamer's game.
Yeah, that they used NBA 2K for the example for that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's like, oh, I want to be the next one to take this guy on. It's like how King of the Hill used to work in Mortal Kombat.
Yes, exactly.
Like the NetherRealm fighting games, but the streamer is always the king.
Yeah, and then you don't have to like load the game, wait in a queue, go through the menu. You're like
Right.
instantly put right into the streamer's lobby,
Blows my mind.
which is nutty.
Yeah. I can see a lot of cool ways to monetize that. You know that if that was like on Twitch, because we both are on Twitch all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'd be like pay 500 bits to play with the streamer. Like I can see YouTube like making something out of that. But like the fact that you can just because streaming is not a necessarily easy thing. It's like it's accessible. It's like something anybody can do. It's not necessarily like easy to get the flow going. The fact that they're just like we'll take care of the technical stuff. You just play your games and have fun. Like the fact
Yeah.
that that's sort of a thing that's a humongous service.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And just really quick, I know you're on a roll, but
ahead.
like, do you think that we'll see an increase in people moving to YouTube gaming as a streaming service? Because right now, their piece of that streaming pie is so small.
Yeah.
And I feel like we don't talk about streaming a lot, but it's something that you and I are both super into.
Correct.
And that we care a lot about. And Twitch is by far the biggest, like, pool of people both watching and streaming, right?
Right.
Mixer's got a small piece of that that's getting bigger with the more and more people that they add. That they like. I mean, let's face it, that they poach from Twitch. Do you think that YouTube will start doing that as soon as Stadia is implemented, or do you think it'll just be a feature?
So here's the thing,
Trying to
right?
Say, okay, whatever. Yeah.
YouTube gaming already they've already kind of dipped their toe into that. They poached Courage JD for
Right. Yeah.
YouTube streaming exclusively. So
Big.
I'm thinking, and I'm also hoping that YouTube kind of takes it because they never really took their streaming side that serious. It was kind of
No.
like it's like hidden in the YouTube site. Like it's hard to find.
Yeah, you got to look for it real hard.
Oh yeah. So I'm hoping like with their moves of taking Courage JD, all this YouTube integration that's going to happen with Stadia, and kind of the emphasis on the games. I hope that they kind of do start taking it more seriously and kind of give some more competition to Twitch, because let's face it, competition is always a good thing for the consumers.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yes. Oh, big time. Big time.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and it also depends what you as a streamer, what features you're looking for. Like if playing with your viewers is a core feature to you as a streamer, this makes that easier. So maybe you would transition to YouTube just because like they have the features that you're looking for. That's kind of what I've always said about streaming is stream on the service that has the features that most benefit you.
Oh yeah. I was one of my friends just started streaming, and they're like, "What should I know about streaming?" That was the first thing I said. It was like, "Listen, it's all the same." Like everybody. So let me like just really quickly. I don't think it's gonna have as huge an effect right now.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of skepticism with Stadia and streaming services like this right now that I've seen, at least in articles that I've read this week, because Stadia had an AMA, or at least some of the team had an AMA, and it seemed a little bit disappointed with some of the answers that were given about the service itself. Maybe it's not all that it's cracked up to be, at least right now. I think it'll be like a slow evolution, but man, if they do this right, I could like see myself being on there all the time, especially with games like, if you said, well, that was Xbox, Tekken 7 was on Xbox, but like these hyper competitive games, I can see that becoming like something totally new.
Oh yeah.
Like just a side of streaming that I didn't think was going to be a thing. Like these massive fighting game lobbies. Like I could see it. I just like, my mind is going wild. That's the thing about new concepts, is that my mind will just start running incredibly wild. And we talked about it in the Pokemon podcast, which if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it. It's great. My expectations are a hard thing to manage for me.
The hype train just goes and it keeps going.
It just goes and goes and goes and goes. So like when I hear Microsoft say we got 50 games right now, it's just the beta, bitch. It's like, wow, this is gonna be insane.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Mitigate my hype, please. Tell me to calm down.
Well, okay. Not quite yet. Let's continue down the timeline.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in June,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine. In June, they finally opened up the pre-orders. So there's the Founders Edition, which they sold out of. They haven't like announced the number of how many Founders Editions there actually were. It was $130 bundle. You got a controller, you got a Chromecast Ultra, you got 3 months of Stadia Pro, which I'll get into the difference between the Pro and the free version later. You got a Buddy Pass, and you got Destiny 2, the collection, which is pretty much all of the Destiny 2 content up to now.
Hype.
So all that for $130. They sold through all of that, and now there's the Premier Edition that people can buy, which is pretty much everything I just said, minus the Buddy Pass, and I don't think you still get Destiny. I'm not sure. I don't think you get Destiny. So you get, so basically the Founders Pass is like almost like a Patreon. The people that support it first, they get the most benefits, kind of.
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah, so that was E3. They opened up the pre-orders. They kind of like, yeah, look at me, I'm Google. Look at my new shit, and everyone was like, I don't know if that's gonna work, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
seem very confident. Let me just say, like, I know people in real life that are like, I don't know about that, and I'm like, they seemed more confident than they were excited, and I don't think the people that, and this is gonna be very quick, I promise. I'm sorry to keep interrupting. I'm just so excited about this. Google, people that work at Google are not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's Google. They know. Right.
They know.
I don't think that and yeah, Google has a lot of like failed projects and stuff, but that's because like that's for different reasons. I think that like Stadia, I don't know, they seem very excited and enthusiastic about it and very sure of the service.
Yeah, most of their failed projects, they never actually put their back behind. Like a lot of the stuff like kind of just came and went without any like noise. They're making a lot of noise for this product. So
yeah, enlisting specific developers.
Oh yeah,
giving a ton of people jobs.
For sure.
I mean, it's huge. Sorry, keep going. Keep going. You got this.
Okay. And this is kind of when, so after the E3 thing, this is kind of when things start slowing down. They're like, it's coming this year for the Founders, and then July hits, right? And this is when the bad news starts coming. So,
womp womp.
How they marketed Google Stadia is you're going to be able to take the controller. You can start playing from your TV and then launch the Stadia app on your phone and continue playing on your phone wherever you go, pretty much, or your tablet or your laptop or whatever. July, we found out that the wireless controller actually won't work unless it's wired to your phone. So you're going to need a USB to USB-C connection to your phone. And I should preface this by saying this is all at launch, right? So eventually they said it will be a fully wireless experience, but just at launch, you're going to have it wired.
They lied.
I'm
just kidding. They
didn't lie.
They didn't lie. No, eventually it'll happen.
They didn't tell the full truth when they announced. They gave you the hype and then, okay, here's the facts.
I did the same thing all the time when I was a kid. It's fine.
So, also in October, Jade Raymond, which was like one of the big game developer executives, she actually went over to the Stadia team. She's part of the exclusive Stadia team. Stadia has like apparently a bunch of first party studios working with them now. Like they're putting a lot of force behind this. Jade Raymond actually said it may be several years before a big game takes full advantage of the cloud, which I don't personally take that as bad news because it's such new technology. No one's going to know how to take advantage of it yet.
Yeah.
But I think it was just to manage expectations because as soon as they announced this, like everyone has their server and then the servers just all talk to each other or whatever. People started talking like 1,000-person MMO instances and
like come on,
all this like crazy stuff. And I think they're like, okay, I get that we hyped you up, but like let's manage this just a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like the same thing with VR happened. It's like, oh my god, we're gonna be able to like explore worlds and like imagine a suit where you can feel everything. It's like, come on, guys, this is a game, you know?
For
like,
sure.
Come on. I mean, I think she's right. I mean, like when the PS4 came out, everybody's like the graphics, and then we got Watch Dogs. It's like, you know, when something starts out, you don't get the amazing thing right off the bat.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
it time, but like I can see Stadia going for a very long time before they do like a second iteration or another iteration.
Stadia is not a console, right? They're just gonna
Yeah.
add on to it. Like it's not the
Yeah.
difference between an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One. There's no box. There's nothing to upgrade. The only thing that you would have to upgrade is the Chromecast and the controller.
Yeah.
That's
Like so. Yeah. Whatever it is right now, it literally can only get better.
yeah. It just leaves. It's literally a live service. It's the live service of consoles, which is like
We're here. We did it.
weirdest
We
thing.
came full circle. This console generation has come full circle.
It's the weirdest thing.
It's not the games that are live service anymore. It is literally the platform. Like that's a meme, right? It's got to be a meme. We just memed it. There it is. It's a meme. Oh my god.
So okay, and then here we come to November. This was actually November 11th, not that long ago. They showed their starting lineup for launch of the games, and there's only 12. And 3 of them are Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I was about to say 3 of them are Tomb Raider games. Like, come on. There's 9 games, essentially. Oh my god.
And, so... And there's like one exclusive game called Guilt on there, which I'm personally looking forward to. That game looks sick. So that's kind of...
Yeah, dude.
That's Google's first, like... Okay, we're launching this product. Here's our game showing you that we have like a game studio and whatever. That game looks
awesome.
looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
So kind of at this point in time, so I'm a founder. I bought the $130 thing like as soon as they announced that it like went on sale. I bought it the same day or whatever. At this time as a founder, I've kind of come to terms with the fact that I'm just like a glorified beta tester. Like this service isn't like they're saying it's launching, but it's launching its beta. It's not going to be publicly available for everyone. It's not a full launch like it will be in 2020. 2020 is when the full version goes live, so anyone can participate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the Premiere and the Founders Edition were to get pretty much the early access and the Pro. So like I said, I was going to describe the difference between Pro and free. This is where I am.
Continue.
So the Pro members, they get 4K, 60 FPS gaming, 5.1 surround sound, basically a bunch of crap that you would have to pay $2,000 for on a computer to achieve.
Yeah.
But there's also a free version of Google Stadia where you get, I think it's 1080p, which is basically what consoles play at now. So
Yeah, that don't I see you. Don't scoff at 1080p audience. Stop it.
you get 1080p, you get some lower than surround sound, but you still get sound, so whatever.
Yeah.
The point is you get to use Stadia for free. The only thing, and this is where the biggest misconception of this thing came from when they announced it, it's not the Netflix of games. You don't pay the $15 a month to get Stadia Pro and then you just have access to a library of games. You still have to buy the games.
Right.
And this was the thing that like set some people off of Stadia. They thought it was going to be more of a Netflix style, but it's not. Think of it as a console in the sky, pretty much. You still have to buy your games. And they've already said like they're going to be competitive with the other sellers of games. So like all these games that they're launching with, even though they're a year old, don't expect them all to be $60. I expect some games to like be 30, honestly. They just said that they're going to be competitive with the other consoles. So with all this being said, they said that all the things that they announced when they first announced it, it's going to be coming. They have a roadmap. They haven't publicly shared the roadmap, which I'm not a fan of. I would rather see it. But I see the logistics of not publicly sharing it because what if you fall behind or what if something unforeseen comes up? There's just more outrage. But
the thing about, the gaming community will rip it apart as soon as they throw out that roadmap.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's already going to get ripped apart just because of how they've marketed it. They should have just said it's a beta. Like, they can say it's a beta and launch with 12 games, and that would be totally acceptable.
Absolutely.
But they've said that they're, like, launching their full platform with only 12 games.
And it's new, right? So people are going to be instantly skeptical of it because we've never seen something like this before. And it's like, you know, like Xbox doing the xCloud thing, like that's cool, that's new, that's Xbox trying something different. With Stadia, it's like they are entering, they're the new kid in the classroom, right?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
immediately the people that have been stuck on one side or the other for a very long time are like, I don't know. And the, like, you know, I feel like the PC master race is sitting there like, I paid a lot of money for this thing. You're telling me I don't need this thing anymore? I'm skeptical of that. And like I've had that exact conversation with people about Stadia where they're like, yeah, but I paid a lot of money for my PC. It's like, what do you think? Like, you think Google just like, what? What? Yeah. So there's, I feel like they, like you said, you said it earlier in the podcast, but they do have a lot to prove with this.
For sure. Like you said, they're the new kid on the block. They kind of have to step forward with their best foot forward, and unfortunately, they're not setting themselves up to do that.
Yeah.
But I do think that they are almost geniuses in the way they are doing it, because the only people that are going to have access to it are the people that paid $130.
So there are already people that are very interested.
They're invested in it. They're in the ecosystem. They're there to like see where the ride takes them. They're not necessarily like I feel like as a founder myself and kind of being in the sub, I like look at the subreddit every day. The people that have paid for this understand that this is a live service, like it's going to evolve over time and not to expect everything at once. It's been made very clear now, right before the launch, which isn't great, but at least it's clear now. I feel like once they go live to like everybody with the free version where you just have to buy the games or whatever, they'll have most of the features that they've promised. They've already announced like some of those features are coming this year and then some are coming early next year. So it's kind of like it's a mixed bag of emotions. So if you're on the train early, you're there, you're invested, you're there for the long haul.
Yes.
Once they release the product next year to everyone, the skeptics and the people that kind of reserve their money and their feelings, which I don't blame you if you do. This is a new technology.
Yeah.
They'll be able to give it a shot for themselves, and hopefully at that time, like it's gonna be where it needs to be to blow people's pants off, because that's kind of like almost the second launch of the product.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, like, I was an early adopter for VR, right?
Mm-hmm.
I paid the almost $1,000 to get an HTC Vive like almost as soon as they came out, right? I spent a lot of money on that. I was very excited about it. Boy, what a letdown. There's nothing to do except like fucking Job Simulator and like, oh my god. Now like I look at it and it's like VR could go somewhere. We talked about that in the PlayStation podcast. Like VR is like finally kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
At the university where I'm at, we have like a whole program dedicated to VR and AR and stuff like that. And even they know that like VR is dead, you know, at this point. So I've been an early adopter of something. It's very easy to get disappointed. I don't think that this is going to flop the same way that VR did, essentially. I don't think VR is dead, but I think it's pretty close to like people.
Yeah. I mean,
like it's an experience.
It is,
it's not a
thing. Where it's going to be. Like where it's at now, it's not going to advance much further than that, other than like cutting the cords, all the freaking wires that they have.
Yeah, and they're basically there. I mean, like you know, Disney World's got some fun stuff, and Universal Japan is going to have the Mario thing and whatever. Like, I don't know. That is where it's at. Stadia and this cloud gaming stuff, I don't see it going away anytime soon because it is the future, right? Like humans are trying their very best, I think, a little slowly to like go towards like this state of being where we're more sustainable. We have less things that require, you know, like I don't know, like I feel like people want less stuff now.
Yeah.
So cloud gaming is just the next step, right? And I know that sounds very simple and very stupid, but I think it's a large part of like the mentality. It's like, how do we just do all of this stuff we want to do for less? Because I am tired of lugging my GameCube to my friend Timmy's house. Like, you know, it's just like, this is just where it always needs to be. With the we might as well use the internet if we have it, right?
Facts.
And who better to figure it out than Microsoft and Google?
The biggest internet people that like Microsoft makes computers and Google are the computers pretty much at this point.
I mean, yeah, it's just like they create the services that you use all the time. and like it's just you're in good hands. Like, yeah, maybe it's not perfect, but they wanted you to know about this technology, so they're giving you the tech. I'm not saying that we should just say thank you for everything that Google gives us, because I think it's only human nature to have questions about something as soon as you get it and to have doubts. But like, I'm not a hater yet. I am skeptical. I would love it if this stuff worked. I used there's like a gaming service, streaming service that I used in like 2010, 2011. I forget what it was. I used it on like my sick days on my laptop, when like I didn't want my parents to know I was playing games when I was staying home from school, right?
Oh yeah.
Didn't work. That's how I played just weird games. But like Homefront, I played Homefront on that streaming service. It was terrible. So I don't know. That's what I think of. I think of like PlayStation Now, where it's just like it was a little laggy when it started, and like it's just weird. I hope it works. That's all. Like I'm hopeful. Like I'm excited. You've heard me be very negative on this podcast. I'm excited now.
This is the one thing Parker approves of. He's
That
like me.
Jedi
He has
Fallen
cautious optimism, like I have right now.
Yeah, I'm learning.
And
you guys.
So like a few like little things that I glossed over.
Yeah.
It's only going to work on Pixel 2 through 4 phones at launch. Eventually, iOS and the rest of Android support will come at the beginning of next year, I believe they said. There was a beta test for this service last year with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and no one knew what it was. It was just called Project Stream at the time.
Right.
And I remember seeing videos of people playing Assassin's Creed on their Switch. And from what I've heard, people that have played it, because they've been at like conferences and expos and all this stuff, people that have used it, they say the technology works.
Cool.
Last year when it was the Odyssey test, there was some noticeable lag, and then I've heard like it's getting better as time goes on, so they're still like improving and updating it. It's just, it hurts my head just thinking about. Oh, and that's the other thing. So Grid, another game that's coming to Stadia, they're doing like a 40 car race, which they're saying they couldn't possibly do on any other console. They can only do it on Stadia because of the power behind Stadia. So already developers are like finding ways to use Stadia and all the power that it has to improve their games. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying about, it's about the features that xCloud and Stadia offer.
Right.
xCloud is probably going to be more convenient for developers because it's just Microsoft. If you're releasing a game on Xbox, it'll probably just work on the cloud.
If you have a relationship with Microsoft already,
yeah,
your relationship will, like, you'll just keep talking to the same rep, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But people are like already finding things with Stadia, like developers are, that is allowing them to like the images in their head and what they want to put in their game, but they were limited by hardware before. They're now able to. And that's kind of why I'm so excited for it. And like I said, like people, like as soon as it was announced, people like started going crazy with like 1,000-person MMOs and all this stuff.
The dev tools.
But eventually, like it might not be this year, it won't be next year, it won't be the year after that, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if this cloud streaming service already works, like look how far technology has come in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Where we are 5 years from now, that might be a possibility. And this is just the first step forward towards that.
That's an exciting possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for this stuff, man. I'm excited. It gets me excited. It's fun. Like, I remember them showing off like the dev tools and stuff, like a little bit of it, a little piece at the announcement. They had like Tequila Works and id Software there, and they're like, this rocks. And it's just like, that makes me think that I don't know, because like the way it works is they, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just like a giant room full of like CPUs and graphics cards and just servers where they're like, it's like an online render farm basically. So I know that render farms are just CPUs, but like it's like an online render farm with graphics cards, and they're like, everybody can use all this stuff all the time. So whereas like a game dev may have like their workstation with one graphics card and one CPU, they have access to this like massive just like pile of computer parts that Google is giving away. obviously not giving away, but that's just so exciting. Like these people could just like render something almost instantly, or like like it's just it. I don't know. I hope it means that games come out faster. I hope it means that games can be bigger in scope. I hope it means more people get jobs. I can see this just. Here we go.
Manage your expectations.
There go my. Did you see my expectations there? I don't know. It's gonna be fun. It's a good time. It's a good time to be alive.
Yeah, and just another
gaming-wise.
fun fact, because you brought up like how it works and stuff. It does come out like the Stadia areas, like they're solar powered. So I think some of them are solar powered. Like they're leaning more towards solar technologies.
That makes sense.
So you can already like see the impact of like you don't have to go out and buy a game disc within the plastic box and like all this stuff like to kind of save the environment, which isn't a very sexy thing to talk about, but it's a reality of the world we live in where pollution is real and kind of our hobby kind of contributes to that. This can kind of slow that down or even eliminate it. But yeah, man, Stadia is just cool, and I'm sure there's like a million other things like that I missed and whatever, but like there's just so much to it, and it's freaking nuts. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, man. I mean, like we may have missed things, but it's like this whole thing is supposed to just be a conversation. I was telling you guys what we're excited about. I just can't wait for Tuesday. Like get Stadia here. Let me play it. Let me touch it.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. You got anything else that you wanted to talk about with this streaming stuff, man?
Just expect a video from me with the unboxing of the controller and Chromecast when I get it.
That'd be fun.
Expect a Stadia review. I'll probably like try streaming it. Like I'll live stream while I'm using it, and I'll make a video giving my initial impressions, kind of what I think about it at the present point, and like what I can see it becoming future based on launch. But yeah. Other than that, God, I need a drink.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks. That's our thoughts on Stadia, on xCloud, on all that stuff. If you want to follow us on our social medias, they are posted on the video, as always. Be sure to like the video if you liked it. If you like our content, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps YouTube know that we exist. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about in the future, leave us a comment. We love reading your comments and hearing what you have to say. Expect a Pokemon review coming soon. Expect a Jedi Fallen Order review coming soon. We're going to have more reviews on the channel. We're going to try to put out more videos from now on. So stay tuned. Be sure to ring the bell if you haven't. And that being said, Squad Chat out. See you next time.
Peace.
Bye. Hey, that one was fun.